Menus, or site navigation, is a key component to any website, and Treepl CMS allows the easy creation and management of dynamic menus, which can be rendered anywhere throughout your site. Looking at the digital agency template here, we have a main navigation at the top here, which has multiple levels of drop-down. And scrolling to the bottom, we have an additional menu in the footer. So let's jump into the admin and see how these are set up. So under the content section, under menus, we have our two menus set up, the footer menu and the main nav. If we click into one of those, we can edit the items within. Selecting an item, we can see all the attributes that are assigned to that, and we can change the label or where the item links to, and various other attributes. And we can see with this menu, we have nested menu items to create that drop-down menu effect. We can also drag items around in here to easily relocate them. And we can even drag items into another item to nest them. Under the Settings tab, we can change the name and menu alias. We have our Layouts tab, which gives us full access to the HTML and the liquid markup for customizing and changing the functionality of the menu. So these menus can be added to the site in various ways. Typically, we'd place them into a content template or directly on a page if it was a specific page-related menu, or we may even place them inside of a snippet, which is then used within various content templates. In the case of the digital agency template, we're using snippets to contain the code for the header and the footer of the site. So we'll quickly jump in there. Under header, you can see the various code here constructing the header of the site. But down here we can see a component tag of type menu. So we know that's calling in a menu. And we can see the alias here is main nav. So that gives us a good idea that this is calling in the main nav from our menu. So the system will render out the layouts of that menu in place of this tag. If you're adding your menu to a page or a template or other layout, you can use the Components Manager here to configure your component tag. If we select Menus, choose the desired menu from the drop-down, in this case main nav, we can optionally choose which layout we want to use if we've set up additional layout groups. And then we can click on the code here to copy it to our clipboard, come down to our code, and let's say we want to place it in here, we can then paste that menu component. If we need to edit any part of the menu markup, how it displays or how it functions, we'd go back into our menu list, click through to our menu, and have a look at our layouts. Now, these layouts are described in more detail in the documentation, but just quickly we have our menu layout, which is the overall container of our menu, which typically consists of a nav element or an unordered list element. Our item layout is each individual item within the menu, and typically is an li element or list element. And then finally we have these sub-items, which describes any sub-menu items that are nested underneath an item. And with those three layouts combined, constructs our full menu. And as we mentioned before, we can have multiple layout groups. So back under our Layouts tab, if we were to create a new layout group, we'd get another set of 3 layouts, which we could then specify our component tag to use when rendering out a second menu or an alternative version of the same menu, like we saw in the footer of the agency template.